Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is From the Sidelines. I'd like to say that we do this every week, but this is actually going to be the end of the show. But I can tell you, the end of the season, but let me tell you, this is going to be a long off-season. It's already been a long off-season. The game with the grand final was only yesterday.
Been a long off-season for you.
Well, yes.
Some of us still had hope into the finals.
Well, hang on. You only had a week longer than I did.
Hey, but what a great
week.
week.
And he had 2 weeks longer than
What a great week.
Yeah, but neither of us made the big dance.
That's true.
Me. You didn't make the big dance?
We made the big dance.
No, don't talk.
Look,
I'll be my misogynistic self. Don't talk about it as though it's the same.
See, we were watching...
No, I'm not saying it's the same, but we made a big dance.
No.
We were watching the girls yesterday,
Yep.
the women's football.
Yep.
And he was cheering about it, and rightly so.
Yeah,
I'm happy for
Because
it.
I'm invested and I've watched every game.
But he was telling me how great it was. And then I said to him, but remember, last year when South won the New South Wales Cup, you said, it doesn't matter, it's not the NRL.
That's right.
And that's because it's not the top tier of that competition. The NRL is the top men's competition.
Yes.
The NRLW is the top of the
And how many
women's
teams
competition.
are in it? 8.
Yeah, they play 9 games or something, don't they?
And they play 8 or 9 games and 2
It doesn't
semis.
matter. It's the women's game.
No,
and
it does.
Somebody has to win.
It does matter. That's the whole
You don't
thing.
care
It's
about the game, so you just stop stirring the pot.
No, I'm not stirring the pot.
I think you're stirring the pot,
It's a
anyway.
Mickey Mouse competition. I wouldn't like to get hit by any of them, let me tell you.
Yeah, no.
But it's 8 games.
You're ruining your argument.
It's
I wouldn't
8
like to get hit by
games.
any of them.
I wouldn't like to get hit by you either.
I don't think that would hurt.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen,
Oh, what?
There was one game this
there was
week.
one game this weekend.
Well, in the
Well, there were
NRL.
3 games this weekend.
There were, and we're actually going to talk about a few of them.
Well, do you want to start from the bottom up?
So you want to start?
Talk about the State
Talk
Cup.
women's?
Leave the best till
I
last.
thought,
Oh,
I thought,
okay.
I
The
thought we were
State
starting at the
Cup.
bottom up, so that wouldn't be the
State
women's
Cup.
game.
Oh, shut up.
We
It's a
love-
bit unlike you, Tom.
We love the women's game. Okay, well let's talk about it. We'll talk about the state championship
Yeah.
okay, between the North Devils in Brisbane and Newtown Jets.
Newtown Jets.
And Newtown were good most of the game, but like they did against North, they couldn't put the game away. And they should have put the Devils away earlier, but the Devils managed to score that last try about 10 minutes from the end or whatever it was, and
They just couldn't claim
And
it
they
back.
just
Couldn't claw it
couldn't
back.
get it back.
Yep.
But they were disappointing because I don't know how many times after they scored, they'd drop the ball, they'd give away a penalty, and like I said, they did it against North last week, and they just played exactly the same way.
The Devils just hung in the game.
They did. They
It's
just
classic sort
they
of
didn't give up.
Queensland sort of thing, I think. It's not exclusively a Queensland thing, but you see it a lot in Queensland teams. They just sit and sit and sit and sit on you in the game, and they just stay close enough, and really Newtown Jets shot themselves in the foot.
Yes,
really.
they did.
Yeah,
There was some
clean
good
up
play,
space.
and there was some good tries scored.
Yep.
But sadly they couldn't. And that was the first time in 6 years that the Queensland team had won.
Yes.
So
Yep.
That's it.
that's it.
Enough said about that.
I have to say, condolences to Newtown, though. I don't know if you heard, but there was either the president or the ex-president of Newtown had a heart attack and died while cheering for Newtown winning the grand final.
Oh, that's pretty tragic, isn't it?
Seriously.
That is tragic.
Yeah. And if you can look it up, there was a report in the paper about it, and so it's very sad for Newtown.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's bad.
But what a way to go! Your team wins the grand final, but still.
Yep.
Yeah. Tom, would you like to talk about the women's game?
Well, I'm probably the only one that wants to. So NRLW Grand Final was the game before the main game. Roosters 32, Sharks 28, which I think, well, it was a classic game of two halves. The Roosters played the Sharks the way they had played them during the regular season. They won 40-0, the Roosters, and they went out to 24-0 lead, 5 tries.
Big half-time score.
Yeah, 5 tries. And I was still nervous because I knew halftime is sometimes the worst thing that can happen. And then in the second half, the Sharks came out as the team who'd been top of the table for the last, for most of the season. They played very well. A couple of soft tries, I think, leading on the line. But they were hungry, and I was getting pretty nervous. But it got to 24-26, I think.
Yep.
24, 26. Something like that.
There's something like that.
There was a few points in it,
Yep.
maybe 22, 26. And then Olivia Koenig, Dally M Player of the Year, by the way, scored a try at the beginning of the game and scored the match sealing game try at the 66th minute. And we hung on for long enough to win by 4 points. So, yeah, look, it was close in the end, but I think it showed a lot of spirit, the Roosters, to hang in there and not to give the game up. Because I really thought there was a chance there that the Sharks would run away with it.
Oh, they were coming back. I mean, the Sharks scored a try in the first half, 2 or 3 minutes?
38 minutes, which is 35 is the half, so 38 minutes, 43, 48, 61, 68.
Yep.
Tiana Penatani scored 2, again, what I would consider fairly soft tries. I thought Jocelyn Kelleher's kicking game was enormous. Taryn Aiken, our halfback, won the Karen Murphy, the equivalent of the Clive Churchill. She had a great game in the halves, and Koenig was also exceptionally good, following up from her Dally M. Look, it was a good game. We've won our second premiership now.
And you need to bring up Millie Elliott.
Millie Elliott, yeah. So Millie Elliott now has achieved what Glenn Lazarus has achieved, although not at the same level, but certainly it's winning 3 premierships with 3 different teams. So I think he's the only man to do it, isn't he, in the NRL? And now she holds that sort of honour in the NRLW. So good luck to her. Well done. It was a terrific game, and it was great to actually come away with something at the end of the season. And because I've been invested in the girls' game the whole season for the last 6 years, I feel like I can own this one. I'm not a hanger on. There you go.
Unlike Brian Nye.
Well, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's right.
Okay, so let's go on to the grand final, gentlemen. Penrith Panthers 14, Melbourne Storm 6. Penrith win their 4th grand final in a row. Can they now be considered one of the greatest teams of the modern era?
You'd have to think so.
Of the modern era?
Of the modern era.
I think easily.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to go back and compare them with St George of 11 grand finals, but
yeah,
of the modern era.
I think I might have sent a message to you guys after the game. I hated it when the Roosters went back to back because I never thought we'd see back to back.
Yep.
I never thought we'd see back to back again, and that was an amazing performance. To make 5 grand finals in a row and win 4 of them.
Yep.
Holy dooly.
Yeah.
That is, it's something else.
And to continue to lose players, that's the other impressive thing.
Yeah.
And what, look, I'm a Roosters man through and through. I don't want anybody else to win. But I've reached the point now where you've just got to give credit where credit is due. The coach is doing an incredible job. They pull players up from the juniors and develop them. So Liam Henry, Lindsay Smith, they're the 2 notable players I can think of who are now first grade ready. They've played in the grand final, one of them twice. They're now going to develop into that James Fisher-Harris type character, and they just keep bringing them through. I mean, they bought Blaze Talangi to step right in there. I mean, he won't be the same replacement for Luai, but that's the plan, is to develop him. So they're losing nothing in a sense. So the future looks pretty bleak for the other 16 teams.
Well, and I was about to say that. I mean, you could stand back now and say, well, okay, next year's a whole new year. We're doing it all again. We start from the beginning. But who's going to compete with them?
We would have said this year. We said this year. They were losing a couple of players. Surely they're going to have to go down a peg. And they didn't play fantastic.
Well, that's right. In saying that, they did. They only finished second in the comp.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I had a conversation with a dyed-in-the-wool Penrith supporter, and I said, "Oh, come on! I mean, Blaze Talangi, he's going to come in for Luai." And I said, I think Taruva's been fantastic.
Yes.
I think he's been for the last. So he got dropped for a couple of games, and he's come back and has been magnificent.
Yeah, he was
close to their best every game he's played. Well, that's all right because they got that young McLean bloke that's going to come in who played, Jesse McLean, and who's apparently huge raps.
Yeah.
And so I said, haha, forwards win games, haha, you've lost Fisher Harris, and she said, yeah, we bought Isaiah Papali though, and I went, oh yeah, that's right. He's a pretty handy replacement.
And they have the biggest junior nursery in the world, so whatever.
It's just,
But
yeah.
you know, four-peat is an incredible achievement, and congratulations to them. Good on Liam Martin. I thought he had a sensational game.
Oh, yeah.
He was just in everybody's face. He was terrific. Paul Anamotti had a terrific game. I mean, he's just fitted in there seamlessly, hasn't he?
He was such a good junior coming through.
Yeah.
He was. I can't believe the Dogs let him go. I cannot believe it.
So again, the identification of talent is another strength of the.
Well, here's the thing. Can either of you point me to a time in the game where you thought Cleary was outstanding? He did something that no one would expect. Because I can't.
No.
He did his job. I thought he had a reasonably quiet
No, see,
game.
I think that was a brilliant coaching clinic by Ivan. So Storm are going to target Cleary. It was obvious. The guy's playing with a busted shoulder.
Yeah.
They're going to go after him. So what did he do? Nothing. He just ran the ball.
Yeah.
And he ran for like nearly 200 metres.
Yeah.
Like talk about changing it up. I don't know whether we've got another halfback or ever. And this is going to sound odd because I do rate some halfbacks in the game, but I don't think I've seen another halfback in my time who is a kicking, organising, passing halfback just suddenly decide for a grand final, I'll just run the ball this time.
Yeah.
I think it's just outstanding. Like that was amazing.
And that's
When you've got that many weapons around, you can afford to do that.
And I
that's my
thought,
point. You've got Cleary who is supposed to be running the show, who didn't seem to be running the show, but you didn't notice anything. It just Penrith went
Well, I
to
think
go
it was going to be really close, and the Cleary would ice the game. It didn't need to.
No.
And
Unbelievable.
like the first 20, 30, even the first half was frenetic pace. I mean, I thought, how are these guys going to keep this up?
that was a
You
fast
could see
game.
Melbourne starting to flag there at the end of the half. I think Turuva scored it in the 26th minute, and then Liam Martin scored in the 38th minute. That was a bit of broke their back. It broke their back a bit. And what do we think about the
Melbourne no try?
Melbourne no try.
I thought it was a try.
I thought I always saw his hand under the ball. It's strange, isn't it? If you actually score the try with nobody around you, you can actually not put the ball on the ground, and they give it as
I've
a try.
noticed that as well. That's right.
And yet, if you're being tackled, your arm, despite the fact that it's your arm on the ground, the ball doesn't count if it's on your arm and not on the turf. So it's a.
But I thought I saw the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Now some people say, but what you're seeing is his arm because it's a slightly different colour.
So they're saying that the bunker had enough views that they could see that in fact it wasn't.
Well, I put a photo on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I agree.
It looked like the ball was there.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that apparently had been touched up. That
that's
got on
possible.
Facebook.
But it's
Yeah.
look at the end of the day. Had that gone up as a try, would we be talking about?
I think
Because it would have been.
a
They
try.
wouldn't have been taking it back.
Well, that was said insufficient evidence.
Well, and I must admit, you can't blame Klein for that one because
No, not at all.
he was standing on the other side of it, and there were 5 Panthers players there. There's no way he saw the ball one way or the other.
And I'm
So
not
he's
a
gotta go
Klein
no
fan.
try.
I thought he had a reasonable game.
I thought he did too.
I thought he had a reasonable game.
So, but while we're talking about that controversy, I think Steve and I had a little bit of a discussion earlier.
The
lead up to the first Storm try, where it was definitely not a strip. It was not a strip. You can't strip the ball when you're 2 metres away from a player. And Ashley Klein's called it a penalty, and the bunker's gone, insufficient evidence. The sufficient evidence is the fact that Paul Alamotti was standing 1.5 metres away from the bloke when he dropped the ball. From that penalty, Melbourne scored.
I think I agreed with you. It wasn't a strip, didn't I?
I don't remember it. I don't remember it now.
It was the lead up to the first Melbourne try.
Yeah.
But so Alamotti gets penalised penalised, and then obviously they weren't near the ball, so it's gone up.
Yeah.
And they've got inconclusive. Well, I don't mean to be rude. It's either a strip or it's not. How is that inconclusive?
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that
because it was decided it was inconclusive, so Penrith maintained their challenge, but it was considered a strip.
That was not a strip.
Yeah.
You can't strip if you're 1 metre away from the bloke. He just lost control.
I don't think it was a strip either.
So in the second half, Penrith just ground the Melbourne Storm down. I mean,
but they kept the same pace they were doing in the first half.
Oh yeah, they didn't slow down.
Yeah,
and unfortunately that led to, and I say unfortunately because I was really enjoying the game, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That led to some Melbourne errors, yeah, they were just they were going with them at the pace, and then there was the early drop ball by McDonald. There was a kick out on the full by Pappenhausen.
Yep.
Just a couple of little mistakes. And that was a game where, if you got the stats there, how many mistakes did the Panthers make? It would be interesting.
Oh, it wouldn't be a lot.
Would be none.
Storm had 53 missed tackles, 30 to 32 tackles.
Errors, 9 to 12.
Yeah, okay.
That's all that it took.
Yeah.
Just 3 mistakes to give Panthers possession.
Okay, so here's the question that you and I are going to argue about. Did Munster bite?
No.
No, I didn't think so either.
Yeah, no, I think his hand got forced.
I disappoint you.
You disappoint me. I thought you were going to argue.
Look, there was one earlier in the year where you saw him go. Munster kind of just gone. I'm getting hit in the face.
Yeah. and if you notice, as he pulls his arm away really sharply.
And
that's where the damage.
Well, not only does he pull his arm away sharply, the first thing Munster does is grab his nose because as he's pulled away, he's hit him in the snout.
Yeah, and I think the refs also didn't really believe it was a bite, but had to do something, so they put it on report and didn't even penalise.
No.
And Munster's been let off, so it wasn't a bite.
Yeah.
Who do you think was the best Storm player? I have my own opinion.
I think Munster probably tried the hardest.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I think he did everything he could to get a roll on for that team.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I thought
he tried really hard.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, and I think Xavier Coates was really,
I was going to
good.
say Coates I thought was good too.
Yeah, in a beaten side, he did not look like he was going to give up an inch.
Well, Grant did run out of dummy half. Hardly at all. I don't remember.
Well,
only for the first try.
Except for the try.
Well, that was that was the Penrith tactic. Just run at Grant.
Yeah.
There you go. That's taken one player out.
Yeah.
For a bloke who makes,
it was a master stroke of.
Well, they're saying Grant usually makes 30 odd tackles a game. You made 60.
Yeah.
Like they just kept going at him.
Yeah, it was a master stroke. I mean, and so there was no flash. There was, you can't say like last year, Cleary took the game by the throat and won the game for them. There was no flash. Everybody did their job and they ground out a win. It was pretty impressive, really.
Now we can get back onto the hating Penrith bandwagon.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. You suck.
Boo, boo. I'll tell you one thing that got under my skin right at the end of the game. And I hate it when it happens at presentations. Oh, you right there, Steve?
I'm trying to find something, but...
I hate it when, at the end of the game, when a player is called up onto stage and the crowd boos.
Oh, yeah, that's awful.
Mate, the Panthers have just gone 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Harry Grant gets called up onto stage as the losing captain, and the crowd's booing him.
And Jerome Hughes was being interviewed on and it was going through the public address system.
Yeah.
And he's getting booed as well. And I think that's just bad form. And I got to say, and I got to take ownership for this. In 2018, we won the premiership, and it was Billy Slater's last game.
Yep.
Crowd booed him too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really bad form, and I would never do it. I don't like booing. I really don't.
I'm okay for booing during the match, but match is over. It's over.
That's right. And you've won.
What
are you booing
That's
about?
bad sportsmanship.
And it wasn't that Jerome Hughes did anything bad. He was just not allowed to be good.
Yeah.
You're booing the Dally M medalist who got absolutely suffocated during the game.
Yep. By your brilliant defence.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're booing him.
So,
sorry, Steve.
We took over a little bit there. Go on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so where does that rate in grand finals, Steve?
The game itself. I think it was one of the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
It was exceptional.
I thought it was engaging because you didn't know what was going to happen for 80 minutes. That was good, but I didn't rate it.
Oh, absolutely.
Look, I think when you're watching a grand final and you look at the time and 30 minutes has gone by and you think, where did that go?
Yeah.
And it's not only that, it's 30 minutes have gone by and you're going, how has no one scored? This is and it's not like they're just doing little inside passes.
No, dropping the ball all over the place.
Yeah, it was like, wow, how have they not scored?
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was fantastic.
How much did Nelson's missing affect him?
Well, I didn't think it was going to affect him at all, but it
hurt him.
It hurt
him.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt him particularly because Kamikamica played like 18 minutes and Lazarus came on and played 8.
Yeah. Kamikamica is a battering ram.
You can't... That was just... I don't know whether that was...
So are you suggesting that Bellamy got the interchange wrong.
Yep.
Well, did he have anything else to work with?
Well,
Yeah, but bring
Yeah, the other
on
big
the
man.
kid. That
if
young
your
Lazarus.
two biggest players get 18 minutes and 8 minutes, surely you're starting to think, well, hang on,
Yeah.
maybe we didn't use them properly.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I want to bring up. Penrith actually only played with 16 players.
That's right. Schneider didn't get a
Schneider
go.
Not on the field. He goes up and collects a medal. He's as clean and his hair's perfect.
I was really, really, really pleased that Matt Eisenhuth got on the bench.
Yeah.
Because he has given up his place 3 times and missed out on a ring, and he's been at that club and has helped to get them to the final.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to happen again because he did actually said, "Well, Sorensen's coming in, I have to give up my spot."
Yeah.
Thankfully, they found a place for him on the bench. He got his ring.
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing him on the field, but either way, he got them there, and he deserved to get the ring. I was really pleased for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's
so,
just re-signed with them, which is good.
yeah. So Tui was played for 17 minutes and Lazarus played for 9.
Yeah.
I think that was the killer. They looked like they were gassed and they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. It's over for another, what is it, 200 days till,
No.
till March, till Vegas?
You're
thanks.
you're miserable, Steve.
Mate, I've been miserable for weeks. Okay. What was announced today
God.
is the Kangaroos team.
Yep.
Let's have a quick chat about that.
Yep.
Some strange selections.
Some very strange selections.
I did, and you know what? I said a little while ago that Ponga will not be picked. He had a I'll guarantee he had a conversation with Mal. Mal said, "Listen, put your name forward. It's okay. I'm going to take the pressure off you, but I won't pick you." He hasn't been picked. So,
I wish they hadn't put them in alphabetical order. I think it would have been better putting them in their
In
rough order of
positions.
positions. I think that would make more sense.
Yeah, they never do though.
Well, let's have a talk about some of them.
Yep.
Do you agree, Reece Robinson, sorry.
Well, no.
Well, he played State of Origin in a winning
Yes,
team.
he did.
Okay. All right, but then why take Ben Hunt?
Yeah.
That quite simply, yes, you can agree to Reece Robson. Will he play? Will he not? Probably not. But then why carry Ben Hunt?
Yeah, Ben Hunt to me is the strange one because I understand what he's trying to do.
He's trying to get rid of the dead wood. Well, seemingly.
Isn't Ben Hunt had his day? I mean,
Yep.
it's not like he really performed well at the end for St George.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if he's a halfback hooker,
Yeah.
what is so he's expecting that the bizarre choice of my Parramatta friend
Yeah.
Moses will fall over, and so Hunt's got to be there to
but
back
Moses
him
was
up.
there simply because you don't have Munster, you don't have Cleary, because they're both going to have surgery.
Yep.
So you had to put the next best thing in, and according to
Now?
form on Origin, he's your next best thing.
Yeah,
Right.
you wouldn't go by the Queensland captain and experience
let's
there.
go through them one at a time.
Yep.
Mitch Barnett, yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Matt Burton, yes or no?
Fringe player. Yep.
Matt Burton can play 5'8", he can play centre, he can play fullback if you need him to.
He's big enough to play.
I'm
well.
okay
Yeah.
for him.
I like Matt Burton. He should have been in the New South Wales squad. Yep.
Bradman Best?
Yep.
100%. Pat Carrigan.
Yep. Oh, look, he performs for you anytime he plays around football.
All right, Xavier Coates.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Lindsay Collins.
No. I
Yeah.
think he's had a terrible season, and I think he'll let him down.
No, I'm okay with Lindsay Collins.
Who does Lindsay Collins play for?
The Roosters.
Yeah, I know.
He's had a terrible season, and I don't.
Well, he's had a terrible last 4 or 5 games.
There's no doubt that this team's been picked on previous
I don't think he
form,
was
not
that great
current
in
form.
Origin, to be honest.
No, it's you know what I like about Lindsay Collins. He's only going to get 20 minutes in the game
Yeah.
off the bench, and that 20 minutes he will do everything that needs to be done. He's an effort player.
He hasn't been doing it.
All right,
Ruben Cotter.
give him that. We'll
disappointed.
take him.
I'm disappointed.
I'm not a Cotter fan. Not a Cotter fan.
No, Tom?
He's a Queenslander. You know, Mel's going to.
No,
This is an Australian team.
I know, but he's a Queenslander.
look, and I'm not a fan because I don't think he's big enough to play front row.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in great form. Jeez, he's got mistakes in him.
So who do you replace him?
Well, who would you replace Cotter with? Oh, I don't know. You'd just go through, pick a young up and come up. The problem is props. Props are always hard. Where's Haas?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm surprised you didn't want... I don't know, is Stefano... No, he's...
We've got Kamani.
Yeah. Angus Crichton.
Should have been one of the first picks.
Crichton, yeah,
Well, it
absolutely.
probably was. Tom Dearden.
Yes.
Dylan Edwards.
Yeah. Look, I'm disappointed Teddy was not there, but I also understand the reasoning, and I think that it'll be good for Teddy for the Roosters. So I'm a bit selfish about that. So look, Dylan Edwards was the next.
Yeah, I don't get why Teddy isn't there. Yep.
Yeah.
Harry Grant.
Yep.
And this Harry Grant is the reason why I don't think you should have picked Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
You don't need 3 hookers in a team.
No.
Absolutely don't.
Ben
But you
Hunt,
could put another forward in.
Yeah.
Harry Grant, yes. So Ben Hunt,
Harry
no.
Grant, yes. Ben Hunt, no.
Zach Lomax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam Martin?
Oh.
Yeah.
You'd have to pick him, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Poor, we're playing. You go to one side of the field, you got Liam Martin coming at you like the angry man that he is.
Angus
And you go to the other side and go, who's this bald bloke smack?
Oh dear. Okay, Liam Martin. Mitchell Moses.
Yeah, look, I think he was the next man in line.
Who would you put in?
I would have went Cherry.
But again, they're trying a succession plan.
Yeah, well, the succession plan is Cleary,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter.
No, that's right. And you don't succession plan with Ben Hunt.
But Mitch has been rested.
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, and if you've got a succession plan, why Ben Hunt?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
I said,
well,
it's a
that doesn't make any
it's a
sense to
confusing
anybody.
team. Yeah.
That
Cam
makes
Murray.
sense to it. Yeah, of course.
Cam Murray. Yeah.
Yep.
Reece Robinson, we
Well,
discussed.
Sure about that.
Lindsay Smith.
Yeah. Well, again, that's succession planning.
Yeah.
He's a bench player off from the Panthers. What? Put Leota in. It's not
Leota
Leota. What's his
Australia?
name? Hang on. Who's the guy who left you guys? Who come to you guys this year? Lenu.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like,
That's true.
I don't get.
Yeah.
I don't get picking a bloke who
Yeah.
comes off the bench.
I see that.
Who has potential.
Yeah.
Lenu would have been a good choice. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's just going to be on the bench, the same as Collins.
And it would have been good replacement for Cotter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, and I think this is the reason why Ponga never got called up. Hamarasai Tabuai Fido.
It's a bit risky.
He's
a good player, though.
I mean, if
When
you're
he's
talking
on,
about
he's
up
on.
and comers and you're talking about development,
When he's on, he's on.
When he's on, he's on. Oh.
Tom
Yeah,
Travojevic.
this one confuses me. Surely this guy needs surgery.
Surely
Doesn't he need surgery?
Tom, what are you doing?
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know.
understand
So
how
you
you picked Tom.
dropped Teddy, who's had a sensational game and was second in the Dally M, and you replace him with a broken down hack who hasn't been able to stay on the field. Seriously, I do not understand.
When Tom's on the field, he's one of the best in the
know
game.
What? I'm not prepared to call Tom a broken down hack. Okay, I can't go that far. Isaiah Yeo.
This is the real reason why Teddy was dropped, because Isaiah Yeo is the best choice for Penrith, for captain, outside of Teddy.
No, I don't think you would have dropped captain for captain.
I think he had in mind that Isaiah is the future as captain, and so he had to drop Teddy because he would have had to give the captaincy back to Teddy.
So where's Jake?
If he kept him.
Where's Jake?
Interesting.
I
don't know that Jake had that great a season, to be honest.
Well, okay,
no,
but
he was only the winning State of Origin half captain.
Yeah,
the captain doesn't win it on their own.
And see, this is where I'm confused. So where's Jake now? Maybe Jake's injured and has to have surgery. I don't know.
No.
But why would you have picked him over Lindsay Smith or Ruben Cotter or Lindsay Collins?
So Tom's given Jake his surgery spot. It's okay, Jake. You can have it. I've been picked for Australia. Yeah. I'll just stumble through.
And we picked the young up and comer 30-year-old Isaiah Yeo. You're talking.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting he shouldn't be there, but
he'll captain for the next 5 years. He is that good.
Yeah.
He's a leader.
Of that team, Tom's the worry because he needs surgery.
He needs surgery.
It's a strange decision.
I don't get how you put
it is a really weird team.
Yeah. And look, now that it's called, I think maybe you'll start to see some players pull out for injury, and I think he'll be one of them. But I don't know. I'm not overly impressed with the team. I think it needs strengthening in some areas, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So.
No, I agree.
Wow.
Oh no! Keep talking. Don't stop. There's no ladder. There's
nothing.
Oh,
As
man.
the sun slowly sets on the NRL.
Oh man.
Season.
There's only next year now.
Well, we've got the Pacific Championships to look forward to. They should be good. I'm looking forward to that.
I do. I must admit, I am. Well, look, I'm one of these older school people, older traditionalists.
Old
who go, if you play for New South Wales or Queensland, you play for Australia. And I know that these guys want to represent their heritage, but to have a bloke like Brian Tohol playing against you after he's played State of Origin,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't understand. So the sooner they get rid of all that garbage, the better.
Oh, they won't. They're going to. I'll guarantee in the next 5 years it's expanded to include international players into State of Origin.
I don't want that. I think that will erode the fabric. It's already starting to erode it.
You've got the Melbourne player who's now said Jack Howarth, who said he wants to play for Australia because he wants to play State of Origin and he's turned down New Zealand.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
He's put it on the line. He's gone, no, I want to play for...
But if he isn't picked for State of Origin the next 2 years, where do you think he's going to go? I guarantee...
He's an exceptional player.
Oh, well, I tell you what, there's some exceptional wingers that will go...
It's a shame that the New Zealand team hasn't been named. That would have been good to talk about. Because I think they're the next thing. I mean, they beat us 30-0 last year. That would be really interesting to see. So... Anyway, we can communicate about that outside of the show. So
maybe we should turn this show into a news feature. We could talk about a whole bunch of stuff that's happening in the environment and politics and... Oh, geez, that elicited a great reaction.
NRL from the sidelines tells you who to vote for.
Well, we could do that, yes.
Well, Albo turns up to an opening of an envelope when it comes to the football. Right. So, he's trying his best.
All right.
Okay. Well, we're done, gentlemen.
Yep.
We are done for 2024. It's over, done, dusted, all that sort of stuff.
Yep. Stay well, Tom. Stay well. I hope he doesn't get hurt.
You need to put him into mothballs. And Teddy, you're going to have a nice big rest and come back supercharged for this next season. Because you're going to need to, because there's nobody else around.
Tom's already given up.
Yeah, he's out of here.
It's going to be a tough year.
He's going to be a South supporter next year.
It's going to be a tough year. We've lost lots of players.
He won't be a South supporter.
No.
No, he'll come across to Manly.
Come across to Manly.
When we're playing Penrith in the grand final, he'll be going, I really don't know what to do.
And it'll be 46-0.
Excuse me, I was close this year. I was only 2 games out.
I was going to say that during the commentary. Had either the Roosters or the Sharks won through to the grand final, it would have been a shellacking, no matter which team.
If anyone had played Penrith last night,
or Melbourne. Melbourne got there, it would have been a shellacking.
Oh, Melbourne made some errors. The Panthers were just dominant.
Yeah. Anybody else outside of Melbourne, that would have been...
It would have been hurtful.
Sure.
That 40-0 would have been in danger.
All right, Brian, anything intelligent you want to end the show with? The year with, let me tell you.
Just rest well, Tom. Rest well. Come back to us, Tom.
Tom, I'm just talking about you. Rest well.
Go the Roosters, girls. Celebrate, enjoy it, get ready for next year. And the cricket is 9.
Oh yeah, can't wait. Let's do a NRL Talks cricket show.
Steve
will be happy about that.
I'll be gone. I'd do
From the sidelines Talks cricket.
Bathurst is coming up
from the
week.
pitch.
From the pitch.
From the popping crease.
I'm sorry.
Steve.
Cricket is so boring.
Please. All right.
So boring.
The Indians are coming.
Watch Bathurst.
The Indians are coming for 5 test matches.
Yeah.
This is exciting
and then
time.
the big bash.
Hang on. You made us sit through about 10 minutes of you gabbing on about the AFL.
For 5 test matches.
How'd your AFL thing go, by the way?
You play for 5 days and it comes a draw.
How did your AFL thing go, by the way?
What AFL thing?
I don't know. You were talking about some AFL. Who won?
I don't know. It wasn't Sydney.
And next week he's going to sit there and watch cars go.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that either.
No.
Really
Come on. I'm sorry. If you're Australian, Tom, if you're Australian, you watch Bathurst.
No, if you're Australian, you watch cricket.
But he comes from Melbourne, so...
They had the Formula 1. Not that I'm interested
buy
in that
the
either.
Formula 1.
Right.
And who cares about Formula 1?
All right.
Talk about buying things.
Thanks for listening and watching to the end of the show. I'm sure you've given up by now.
And thank you for all your contributions on the Facebook page. Don't go silent. If you hear about any sort of trades and
keep Tom accountable.
Keep it up.
Yeah, because we get to bag the Roosters next year. Because hopefully they won't make the 8, and that'll be fun.
Are we doing this next year?
Yeah. These two don't know whether they want to do it next year.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
It could be. Yes, it's Brian from the Sidelines. I'm a Nigel. Nobody loves me.
I already got my new name worked up. If you two leave me, I've got a new name for the show.
What is it?
The guy in the mascot costume.
Are you wearing a mascot costume? So you don't actually really look like that. You wear the mascot costume
He's wearing it now. That's right.
All right.
Thank you for watching. This is From the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve, and it's been a good year. It's been a fun year. It's been a long year. Well done to Penrith. Well done to the Rooster Girls. Well done to the Northern Devils in Queensland.
We don't mean that. We hate Queensland.
And
yet he wears maroon.
Yeah. And has a halfback who's a Queenslander. Will you let me finish?
And we're about to have Mad Monday. Clearly, you can see we're off to Mad Monday.
I have no idea what I did.
Yep.
Which is
all right. Thanks all. See ya.
Bye. See you later. We're out of here.
What the heck? He went.